Hey guys, welcome to the quarter 4 report for our facility in Fargo. My name is Trevor Schmidt. I am the portfolio manager at Matt Capital. I'll be taking you through the property's performance in quarter 4 here today. First and foremost, no distributions this quarter. We're still working on improving cash flow and building up the cash reserves before we can start distributing funds. I know we were hoping to be able to send out distributions already, but we still do feel very positive about this property long term, due to a little bit longer lease up period and some increased expenses, which I'll touch on here. No distributions to this point. The highlights from this quarter, we did absorb that big rate change that we sent out. So if you guys remember, in the summer, we sent out a notice that coming October 1st, our rates were going to go up. We raised rates by about 20% across the board. So we did have a couple move outs because of that. A handful of tenants put in their notice to end their lease at the end of September before those rate increases went into effect. But we did replace those move outs with new tenants and move ins. So we increased our occupancy by 17% in quarter 4 from quarter 3 up to 75% now. We also did capture 95 leads in quarter 4. This would be like name and phone number we've talked to, they've expressed interest. This is really important for us moving forward. Reason being is that, we're really finding that, as opposed to maybe traditional self-storage, where you think of it more as like a transactional piece with tenants, these tenants we may capture, like leads that we captured 2, 3, 4 months ago might just be coming tenants now. So it's not a case of, hey, I just realized that I'm moving out of my place and I need a 10 by 10 storage, so I need it today. I'm going to call a storage facility until I find one available, and I'm going to rent it out. Not so much of that. We do get leads that call, they need it now, we rent it out, but we're finding that a lot of our tenants are leads that we've captured months ago. So the focus for us is to continuously follow up with them until they blatantly tell us no, but we're finding a lot of these people are planning for a facility like ours at some point. So we're continuing to follow up with them, make sure that we contact them as much as possible. Couple lowlights there. We did have some water damage to tenant belongings from some snow melt on another unit. And then the big one, guys, is our property taxes. So this has a huge effect on our distribution plan. So on our pro forma, we had planned for 2025 property taxes to be around 66,000, as you can see here. The actual taxes owed for 2025 are about $96,000. So almost a $30,000 difference there, a huge increase, as you can see. We're working to challenge the assessment with the city when the time comes to do so. But this is a big deal for us, especially during lease up. That extra $30,000 expense makes a big difference for us. Notable events. Per our accountant, we're expecting to send out K1s to all the investors by March 15th. So you have plenty of time to get them to your tax guys in time for April taxes. Just a general overview, property information. Again, my name is Trevor Schmidt. Here's my cell phone. Feel free to call or text me, or you can send me an email with any comments, questions, concerns about the property. Always happy to discuss those with you and kind of just give you more detail on what I'm seeing and what we're experiencing at the property. Looking at the financial performance. So yeah, you can see that in quarter 4, we had our highest quarter of income. This is good because even though we're not at the highest occupancy percentage that we've ever been at this property, we achieved the highest income due to those rate increases. The other item I'll show is like you just see how much of an expense these taxes are. I think this is almost 55% of our total operating expense. So these taxes are just a huge expense for us. We're doing a good job on lease up and operating the property. But these taxes just off the top, 55% of our income is going to taxes. So we're hoping to improve that. Excuse me, 55% of our operating expenses are due to taxes. So we're going to challenge that, whether that's a 5%, 10%, maybe 20%. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to appeal, but we're prepared to do so. I think that window opens up in February and we'll kind of attack that when that comes. Occupancy, so you can see our occupancy chart here. You see this last February, we got all the way up to 89% occupancy. Then we start to see that seasonal drop. We went all the way down to 58%. That was at the end of September, and that was when we gave notice that our rates were going to be jumping up quite a bit. So we've seen that dip, but we have recaptured a lot of those move outs. And looking back at this facility last year and our Grand Forks facility, we see strong move-in data for January and February. So expecting this number to go up the next couple months to help with that seasonal drop will come spring and summer months. Overall leasing activity, we had 10 move-ins in quarter four, 3 move-outs, and then since January 1st alone, we've had 2 move-ins. Just a market overview. So the big one here, if you guys are familiar or not, we had a new competitor coming into town. They're on the north side of Fargo, on the west side of I-29. Huge facility. Storage Kings are out of Bismarck. They're building right now. I think they're pretty close to being done, but most of their units are cold storage. So they do have a few heated units, but as far as a large number of 18 by 50 foot heated units like us, not so much, more cold storage, but these guys will become a competitor of ours. We think we're in a better location, relatively speaking, in town, but something to keep an eye on. We'll make sure that we remain competitive with our rates and yeah, doing everything that we can to retain tenants and not lose them due to rates. So on the debt side of things, I know we were working on an extension on the interest only period. We were not able to secure an extension on that IO period, but we are close to closing the loan or repricing our loan, I should say. So that's been accepted with the lender. Not 100% sure what the final rate will be, but we're looking at a nice rate reduction on the loan, which will help our net income every month. So we'll keep you updated on what that ends up being when it is completed, I should say. And then again, we're going to challenge the assessment on that appeal period. I think opens up in like mid-February. We have everything ready. As soon as that period opens up, we'll be submitting it to the city, and we're just challenging the taxable value. We believe that it's assessed too high when we look at similar buildings in the area. Again, we're not going to see a 50% cut. I highly doubt that, but if we can get 10, 20%, that would help us out tremendously as well. Just some information that Thomas on our team has put together, kind of shows you what we're looking at, that we'll submit to the city. So he's done a lot of great work on this, and hopefully can save us some cash on the taxes. The biggest tenant operation risk that we see in the winter is that by and large, a facility operates great. We have happy tenants, but we're seeing some water drainage from snow melt. So we're gonna work to seal the units. We're gonna try a simple, cheap fix for now, just literally taking caulking and sealing up the units so that we can prevent snow melt from going into other units. Hopefully that does it. If we need to do something different, a little more extensive. We'll keep everyone posted, but that's kind of the one pain point that we're seeing right now. There's been a few different units that send us pictures saying, hey, we got water in here. Obviously, something we want to prevent. They're renting out a premium facility. We want to make sure that they're getting a premium product. And on the flip side too, we try to tell tenants that are bringing vehicles in and out, hey, do your best to knock snow off of it, to push the water out after the snow melts. But you can kind of see their side of it too. They're paying a lot of money for a heated unit. They'd like to be able to utilize that, not have to worry about those things. So we're trying to work on mitigating that problem, and we'll do so. As far as opportunities, one of the big things that we're trying to do to retain tenants and kind of suppress that seasonal change that we have is to just offer incentives on signing a long-term lease, or even more if you pay 12 months in full, we'll offer you incentive to try to keep you around. And then the other thing is we're going to be at the Red River Boat Show here this weekend. Hopefully convert a few leads to tenants and kind of fill our pipeline, and it'll be a good brand awareness for us as well. So maybe they're not in our facility this year, but if we gain some interest, get their info, we can follow up with them throughout this year and hopefully capture them come next fall as well. Just some photos of the facility again. We're going to work to get some updated photos this winter with the snow being plowed and then the front gate in. Some real cool photos at night when it's all lit up and the snow is cleared, gates there, just it looks like a really nice facility. So our areas of focus moving forward. So we really want to get back up to that 85% occupancy, and really that's 5 net move-ins over quarter 1. If we get there, we're going to be in a good spot moving forward as far as a net income cash flow basis on a month to month. Really want to see us get to that 85% occupancy again. Then we are going to secure that rate reduction. We expect that to be complete this quarter, hopefully within the next month. That'll be done and reduce our debt obligation a little bit. And then again, continuous follow-up with the lead database. It's amazing how many tenants we're converting by simply following up with leads that we got again 3, 4, 5 months ago. We keep touching them, and a good number of these end up converting. So it's a continued focus for us, and we'll continue to do a good job of keeping our database updated, making sure we're following up with them as much as we possibly can. That's all I got for you. So again, my name is Trevor. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll keep you guys posted. Continue to send out periodic updates on what we're doing, how the lease up is going, the rate reduction. We'll keep you updated on that, and as well as that tax assessment. So a couple big things we're working on to hopefully help the project long term. We feel very confident with where we are, and we will continue to work to provide you guys value. So if you have any questions, reach out. If not, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much.